having a good weekend?
Yes.
Yes? Anything to be thankful for?
I have burgers.
That's something to be thankful for. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten today. What are you thankful for?
Noah shared his chips with me.
Noah shared your chips with you?
I'm thankful for Quaddy's bun.
You're thankful for Padashaya's bun? Padashaya? You're not thankful for anything? You should be thankful for something. Benaya, what are you thankful for?
Breathing. And that.
What did you say?
Breathing.
You're thankful for breathing?
Yes.
Maorla, what are you thankful for?
Noah shared his dynamic.
He shared his food with you. Tiano? You went roller skating today?
We're going rollers.
Oh, fun. Where are you guys going?
Complex.
Complex? Sounds like fun. Naomi, what are you thankful for?
Going to their house.
Going to their house, having fun? Yes, not everybody gets to have fun. Aria?
It's my birthday.
It's your birthday? All right. Does anybody have any questions before we begin? Okay. So I brought a little snack for you guys. I want you guys all to partake from the bountiful snacks I brought. Go ahead and eat them.
These are good. Why can't we all have almonds?
Some of you got almonds, some of you got brownies. Go ahead. How does it taste?
That's good. I like almonds.
One would taste good.
How does it taste?
Good.
How does it taste, Padashaya? Does it taste funky?
Nah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so don't eat the rest of the brownie. It has salt on it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's gross, right?
Look at Aria's face.
Yes, she did it on purpose. I know.
So how did you guys feel when I gave you almonds versus a brownie?
I actually was fine with that. I don't like sweets.
I know you don't like that, but everyone else who likes
Banana.
Benaya, you were upset. You were like, well, you did it on purpose. Why are you giving me brownies? You were upset, right? Because you wanted the brownie. Because it looked good, right?
Who else got almonds?
Who else got almonds? You can go rinse out your mouth if you ate the brownie. Don't keep eating it, Padashaya.
No. It has salt all over it. Like
Yeah, don't eat it.
She wants to know why eating more. No, because he's trying to brush it off from the top.
Oh yeah,
He made
no.
it with salt.
It's on there. It's super salty. It's gross, right?
So what's Tiana upset?
Tiano, how did you feel when you didn't get brownie?
I mean, it's too sweet. I don't want it.
Well, what if it was something that you did like? Like, what do you like?
Jolly Ranchers.
Jolly. What if I gave everybody a bag of Jolly Ranchers and I gave you some almond? Right. You'd be upset. You'd be like, what the? You know what the heck? You'd be like Benaya, getting over here, getting an attitude, causing a storm. You know, you want that brownie. You want that Jolly Rancher, right?
Oh, Naomi got
You don't want the.
Yeah, Naomi got almonds.
I was hurt on a biblical level.
I watched.
You were hurt on a biblical level. It hurt your spirit.
Yes.
Yes. What about those that ate the brownie? What about those that got the brownie? How did you feel?
Eat it.
Did you feel special? Well,
Did
you're
you feel
not.
special? Like, yay, I get a brownie, they don't. How did you guys feel? Padashaya?
I knew something was up.
You knew something was up?
A tiny pinch.
You felt happy, right? Like, oh, I'm going to eat this good brownie. Padashaya, how did you feel?
This tastes.
Did you feel special? Did you feel like you were getting something that others weren't?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Psych.
Psych. Yeah, so sometimes that's how it is for you guys now. Do you guys look at the world and maybe sometimes desire the things that they have, whether AirPods,
Yeah.
these AirPods, and those Apple Watches? What about just like
Just a better phone.
The fact that people have jobs.
iPhone X's,
Having my
Android.
phone back.
having your phone back? Okay. What are other things besides electronics?
Oh, I mean, I really want this toy that I don't know what the name of, but somebody has it and I want it.
Okay, so there's carnal things. What about maybe things that your friends get to do that you don't get to do? What are some of those things that you want to do? I know I've heard you say like you want a nose pierce or ear or what is it that you want pierced?
I wanted a tongue
Nose
ring.
Tongue ring, right? So that's one example. What's something else? Come on, I know you guys want things, because I know I want things sometimes. Okay, besides electronics, what are some things that you aren't really allowed to have, but you others seem
Stay out past 12.
Stay out past 12, going out, hot fries. A toy?
Nice.
I'm sure you get toys though.
I like those toys.
Mawerla, what about you? What are some things that you want?
That golden pack.
Fortnite. That cost.
That you don't get to have?
That golden pass.
Their golden pass? What's something else? There's nothing else in your mind that you want that you're not allowed to have, or maybe that's wrong? No?
Oh, you know what I want?
He's like, I just want Fortnite. I live Fortnite.
I watch it, I play it.
I want my
Renaya, what about you? What about you? You want your what?
I'll live forever.
Okay, but people in the world don't have that. So what's something that the world has? Naomi? Think.
I want my own room.
You want your own room so you have your friends. So that's a good one. Thinking out of the box.
I want my brothers old enough so I can like leave them alone. So like leave me alone.
I want an older brother so they can protect me.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, but
Other people have that.
right, but it's not wrong to have an older brother.
Oh, okay, then I guess I wanted a tattoo.
A tattoo, okay. What else? What's something that's wrong according to the scriptures? Aria? Tiano?
I want to eat some hot Cheetos.
Okay. What about moms? Call them out,
I
moms.
want my.
Tell their truth.
Don't.
You're asking for things.
Yeah, what's something else that they want?
I got it! I want the body of J-Lo.
You want
Yeah, there you go.
the body of J-Lo? It's not bad to be healthy, but you know the way you dress. Do you want to dress like J-Lo? No. Right. So it's
Things they want to think right now, they're only thinking about the things that they said.
listening and saying. Okay, so they did tell their truth. They're not hiding
Or should I have
anything.
said anything?
All right, so let's wait on Kwadashaya to say something. What's something that you want that your friends are allowed to have, but you're not allowed to?
My new phone.
What's we already talked about electronic. It's not wrong to have a phone.
Oh.
I don't know.
So they get to go out by themselves. They get to have a boyfriend, girlfriend. They get to drive cars. They have cars at 15.
Yeah. Cars.
They get tattoos. They
You get to go
They
partying.
do drugs. Yeah, they go clubbing. They get fake IDs. That's what we're talking about.
Oh,
Things that
I've
they
always,
do that are wrong, but you want to.
I always wanted to go into a club with a fake ID. I thought that'd be cool. It's stupid, but.
All right, so today's topic, we're going to be going over love, not the world. So what are some things that the world has to offer?
Nothing.
Honestly.
Honestly,
Food, plants.
let's. I know we're not supposed
Money.
to love the world.
Yeah,
money.
Tell them that don't give the answer they think.
Yeah,
Hear,
so
like, what you read.
They have money, right? Money is good. Money is a defense, but some of us want to be super rich, right?
Yeah.
So the world has money to offer. What else?
I'll read out.
Freedom, so-called freedom, right? What else?
They have freedom.
Food.
No, they don't. It's so.
What else does the world have to offer?
Food.
Certain foods
Plants,
Yeah.
that we can't partake from.
plants, and water.
No. What did you say? Oh, I thought you said something.
Being able to be a vampire and just enjoy it.
You just need. Okay.
There are some crazy people who think that they're vampires and they go around drinking blood.
Oh, that's
Like, so, they have power, riches, power, like the president, he has power to shut down certain, so, there's
The
things-
audacity.
The audacity.
Audacity.
Some people go to college or they have these big fancy houses. The world has a lot of things to offer. Some of it's bad, some of it's okay if you use it in the right way, right? So if you have money and you use it to help others, to help the camp, to help your family, then it's not so bad, right? All right, so Who runs this world?
Girls.
Women?
Boys. Boys.
All right, who else runs this world?
Only boys.
White people.
No, Shema would know.
Yes, white people.
Spiritually, who
Boys.
runs this world?
Satan. Boys.
God.
Satan. Boys.
Donald. Say Trump.
Satan does. You know, the Most High gives him permission to influence this world and to doing negative things, right? If you guys all have your papers, somebody can read that verse that I've put down.
I'll read it.
Okay,
No, I
read
won't. Never mind.
Read it loud.
Every day.
Which one? Which one? I'll read it.
Ephesians 2:2.
Wherein in time past ye walked according of the course of the world of this world, according to the prince of power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience.
So the prince of the air. So it's talking about Satan. He works in worldly people, you know, to do bad things or to seek power, to seek money for their own selves or for a wicked purpose, right? I'm sorry, you guys. I always get nervous. So the ways of the world are ruled by Satan, right?
Yeah.
So the thing, what's one way? Maybe you've seen a grown-up or a person on TV. Their ways are ruled by Satan that you've seen. Let's talk about TV since you guys don't really interact with older people. Naomi?
Okay, so, me and Mom were watching this show about rappers,
Uh-huh.
and rappers were doing drugs.
They were doing drugs, so that's a way. What's another way?
Homosexuality.
Homosexuality, right. So that's big right now. You know, they aren't supposed to be doing that. What's something else?
Bestiality.
Bestiality, yes.
Disgusting.
Benign.
They'd be eating like piles of lobster.
Right, so they're defiling their body by eating things that the Most High has said that we shouldn't.
Dressing a certain way on TV.
So right, so dressing provocative, showing your body. You know, they're letting their Satan rule them. You know, they're not letting the scriptures rule their mind. Anybody else? Mawarla, are you here? Did you have your hand up, Laura?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I was listening to, I think yesterday or this morning, but like as far as like our people, like the darker skinned people, they're like bleaching their skin. Yeah, that's pretty
So
good.
that's a way, you know, to hate who we are, Benaiah.
You know they're better than God.
Yes, there are people who think they are better than God or that they are God. So the sooner that you recognize that those ways aren't for you, you know, or you shouldn't want to follow those ways, you know, the better. You know, you should be focused on the narrow path and the path of the Most High, because that's what's going to get you into the kingdom. Everyone here wants to be in the kingdom, right? Or do they want to flourish in this kingdom? Because they're out there having fun, right? It looks fun, but it really isn't. It's like that brownie. It's deceiving. It looks good. It's yummy, but you know, once you get it, it was disgusting. You know, for those that did get to try it, and for them, their end is destruction, is death. So the next verse on your paper, if you see 1 John 5:19. Somebody read it, please. Somebody different.
1 John what?
5:19.
That's not.
It's not on here.
I'm sorry, I didn't put it on there.
It says Mark 8 and 6.
Okay, so the next verse was 1 John 5:19. Somebody can get it in their Bible and read it.
Wait, 1 John or John?
1 John.
Okay,
1 John 5:19.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he know that we are God, that we
We are of God.
and the whole world's life in wickedness.
Right, so no one in here wants to lie in wickedness, right? Nobody wants to do drugs or be prostitutes or be a whoremonger, you know, cheating on your husband or cheating on your wife. all you care about is money. Money is life. We can't want to be like the wicked in the world. So why do you guys think Satan is allowed to rule this kingdom, and why those people get to do the things they do?
Well, once I said it, he said that the world was given into the hands of the wicked.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Benaiah?
People let the demons inside.
Right, they don't resist. Okay. Anybody else? Naomi?
To test us to see what we're gonna do.
Good, yeah. So we're living a life of constantly getting tested, just like in school. They go over something and you get tested to see if, here, the Most High tests us too. He lets Satan do whatever he wants to do because he wants to see if you are going to conform to his ways or if you're going to conform to the Most High's way. So the purpose is to draw you, his purpose is to draw you away from the Most High. So what's a way that he could tempt you guys as you get older to draw you away?
We can leave the camp.
You can leave a camp, right? And want to go,
Be strippers.
yes. Benaiah, you had your hand raised. And that can happen, Some women in school, like, they become strippers to pay for college. You could end up there, but you don't want to end up there. You don't want to be in wickedness. Benaiah? You could become a drug dealer. Or you could become someone who just wants to climb the corporate ladder and all it cares about is working, and you forget about the Most High. You stop coming to class because all you care about is your job, right? So that's a way.
Alcohol?
What did you say?
Alcohol.
Yes, you could become a drunkard and want to drink all the time and not focus on the Most High. So sometimes the things of the world appear attractive and appealing to us, but again, like I mentioned, it's a deception, and you don't want to conform to that. Have you ever guys heard of we only live once, so you gotta enjoy it? YOLO? Is that what YOLO means?
YOLO.
Do you guys hear that? So that's kind of like what Satan wants you to think. Like, you only live once, let's try it. You gotta try it at least once. That's the mind state of the world. You don't want to have that YOLO mind state. It's not gonna hurt me. It's just one time. When the one was in high school, and one of his girlfriends, well, it wasn't his girlfriend, it was his friend that was a girl, and she tried speed for the first time and she died. Speed, it's like crack. It's a drug. In her mind, it was like, oh, it's just one time. It's fun. Nothing's going to happen. But that one time killed her, right? Or if you drink irresponsibly and you're like, oh, nothing's going to happen, we're not going to get caught, or, people get in accidents all the time and they die.
I had someone, they overdrank too much or whatever during school or whatever, and right before his graduation he passed away because he was drinking and driving. So he couldn't even cross the stage, get his degree, whatever.
So we can't live that YOLO mind state, We only live once, let's party hard. Because you may not see the next day. And I want to see the next day. Who wants to see the next day? Come on. And he also wants us, he's trying to get us off that narrow path so we lose our blessing from the Most High, that eternal life that the Most High has promised us, right? Because if you end up doing those things, your mind's going to be off of the Most High, and if Christ were to come back, he's going to be like, what were you doing? What were you doing for me? So we're going to read a story about a man that Christ was talking about who just cared about things of the world. So let's go to Luke 12, and we're going to read verses 16 through 22. Somebody want to read? Somebody read loud. Luke 12, verses 16 through 22.
12.
Mhm. Verses 16 through 22. You ready? Okay, go ahead and read it loud.
Luke chapter 12, verse 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, This will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods.
Okay, stop. So it's talking about a man who was, it sounds like a farmer, like he had a lot, in abundance. He had too much, he was a farmer, he planted his seeds and he was getting a lot of fruit. He's like, what am I going to do with all this stuff that I have? And he said he was going to build up barns so he could store it up, right? You guys understand what we're reading? Okay, keep going, Benaiah.
And I will say to my soul, Soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said unto him, Thou fool, this might thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself, and is not rich toward God. And he said unto his disciples, Therefore I say unto you, take no thought of your life, what ye shall eat, neither for the body, what ye shall put on.
So what do you guys think that's saying? Why do you think Christ, or the Most High, called that man a fool? Because to the world, that doesn't appear to be foolish, right? For someone who's a go-getter, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to study hard, I'm going to get a good job, make lots of money, provide for my family, go on vacations, all those things that the world does. It's not bad, right? But where in between that, where did he dedicate his time to the Most High? That's why he was a fool, because he forgot about the Most High. And all he cared about was gaining and gaining and gaining. So we can't ignore the Most High. As you guys are getting older, you can't forget, you guys are not little kids anymore. You can't forget the Most High, because if you do, then you may end up leaving the truth. You want to stay rooted in this. You can still do those things, go to school, but in going to school, you want to make sure that you're well-grounded and know that you're going to school to become better, maybe to help your family, right? Like me, I'm going to school not so I can become a nurse and get lots of money and have fancy things. I want to be able to help my family, help the camp in, whatever way I can. Anybody have anything to say? What are you guys thinking after we read this passage? Tiana?
It sounds like he was only thinking of himself. It sounds like he was being greedy. He was going to build a farm just for himself.
Good, and that's good that you recognize that. Because again, to the world, that might not, to them it's like, what's wrong? He's just trying to get money. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's read the next verse, which is Mark chapter 8, verse 36. Is it on your paper?
Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody wants to read it. Quadashai, you want to read it? Naomi? Read it nice and loud so we can hear you.
For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
So again, it doesn't matter how rich you are. If you are alone in a house without the wisdom of the scriptures, without the brotherhood, without the unity, you're basically soulless. You might as well just be dead to the Most High. All right? So what do you think are some? Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to say a scripture, but I want to make sure you don't have it.
Oh, okay,
Do
what
you
is
have more
it?
scriptures?
I do.
Yeah, Galatians 6 and 8.
No, I do not.
Can I share it?
Yes, go ahead.
So it says, "For he that soweth to the flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap everlasting life." So if you guys really understand the scripture, we see what they get in the world, and it looks like they're really lavish and they have everything that you want and more. But at what cost? They're basically selling their souls out. So at what cost? They're going to be judged for what they're doing. As to where us in the truth, we suffer more because our priorities are geared in a totally different direction. So even though we might feel like we're not getting what we want, the Most High does provide us with what we need and more. We do have blessings, even if we don't feel it or see it that way. We are all blessed in one way or the other, so we'll be repaid for our good works.
In the end, and that's the eternal life. You know, you are going to get repaid. You may not get repaid now, and maybe the things that you do get aren't what you want, but it's what you need. It's like those almonds that we gave you guys. They're not fun. You know, they're not fun like a brownie, but they're nourishing. They're good for you, right? It's what you should be eating, right? Because otherwise you could end obese or unhealthy or with diabetes. So at that very second, at the very moment, it's not fun, but long term, you know, it's going to be rewarding. Your body will thank you later.
It's like
your glutes, no, to show you. I was saying your glutes will thank you later. What were you going to say, Shreya?
It's like when a parent says to do something but you don't want to. It's like a parent doesn't let you go to a party, but it's good for you because everyone could have got shot up that day.
Right. All right. So next, we're going to talk about, you know, the steps that Satan uses to take you down, because that's his job, right? He's that roaring lion that's ready to devour you if you're not paying attention, if your feet aren't grounded. So we want, you know, that's why we do these kids classes, is so, you know, you guys can soak up these scriptures, and as you get older, you know, go out into the world, you know, because we're not always going to be holding your hand. You know, you have to let the scriptures hold your hand and guide you as you guys get older. So, okay. Sorry you guys, I have to get my thoughts together. So he uses this world to deceive you, right? Right? He makes you think that it's better out there. So like with the snacks, you know, I deceived some of you. I was like, you're getting some, your Quadashai is still eating. And to the wicked, the wickedness is still good. They like it. They like the wickedness. So we can't be like that, you know? Now you guys are going to have high blood pressure. Good job.
I saw you stand there and eat it all.
So, you know, the wicked, they do like it. That's why they don't change. You know, that's why there are people that do come in and they hear it and they're like, nah, I prefer the wickedness. I don't want to put myself into this and give myself to the Most High, to the camp, to doing the things, because they prefer to just be out there. All right? So the first thing he does is he tries to make you to conform to this world. Do you guys know what it means to conform? If somebody has a phone, look it up.
He's here.
You have it? Okay, stand up and read it loud. What does it mean to conform?
I got it.
Okay, Shreya has it. Read it loud so we can hear you.
Comply with rules, standards, or laws.
Okay, so to comply to the rules and the standards of this world. Okay, what else?
Behave accordingly to socially acceptable conventions or standards.
Good. I have here too, to be similar in form or type and agree. So he wants you to conform to this world. He wants you to start dressing like they do out there. He wants you to start talking like they do out in the world. You know, that's what he puts it in front of you and says, oh, look how cool this is.
Or just like people who are from like other countries, they don't know anything about Christmas or Thanksgiving or anything like that. But when they move over here, then they conform to the way America runs things, and they're now all of a sudden they are okay with the homosexuality and with celebrating Christmas and stuff like that. But at first they didn't know that at all in their country because they don't celebrate it.
Right, that's a really good example. So that's the first thing, you know, he puts that in front of you. You know, it's right. You know, homosexuality was illegal before. Now it's legal. So people are like, okay, I guess we can go with it. You know, it's legal. You know, let's conform to the law. So that's his first step. And that's them being wicked by making it legal to make people think, you know, with the weed too, it's not legal here yet, but they're getting to it, you know, to do it for wrong, you know, to smoke and get high, you know, or other, you know, other things. They, on TV, you know, they
do cooking shows where you cook where you're fired high and cook with weed.
Oh yeah.
right. Or what are other things that we see, Mom? On shows that we see.
Well, they're trying to legalize the what is it when you like kids?
Yeah.
They're trying to make that a thing. That's just a sexual preference, not a sickness.
Right. So that, you know, that's his first step. He wants you to conform.
Oh, and also the with animals.
Right.
Yeah. People marrying animals, like this one guy who married a dolphin.
There's some one girl who married the Eiffel Tower.
Right.
What?
So if you guys started conforming, what do you think? How do you think you would start thinking towards the truth? Like, what if you're 18 and you're like, oh, I like what they do. I like dressing slutty, or I like being a whoremonger. How do you think? What do you think you would be thinking towards the truth if you did start to conform?
It's boring.
It's boring.
You don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it.
You would think that they're the outsiders. Like, why aren't you doing it? Why don't you want to be a part of
Right.
of what we're doing?
Laura?
You would maybe start to think like, oh, the truth is trying to brainwash me.
You're Nicole.
You're in a cult.
Yeah. My mom would say that. You're in a cult. Like, no, it's just the Bible. You know, your mind state would start to change. You would start to look at people in the camp like, oh, you know, what are you doing? Like, let's go out there and live our lives. You know, YOLO. You know, you would stop reading the scriptures. You know, you would stop. You know, you guys do play a part in this camp, but like, if I stopped wanting to conform to the world and I was like, oh, I just want to be about school and work, you know, I would stop caring about putting kids' class together, you know, or if Allison was like, I'm tired after work, I don't, you know, or started caring about other things, you know, she wouldn't come to class to do the video, you know, that streams and thousands of people watch it, right? You know, if like Shawashna and Laura stopped caring and conform to things of the world or start doing things that they wanted to do, you know, the garment department would lack. You know, Shalomaya back there, we can't see her, only her toes, you know. If she stopped, you know, coming around, you know, she wouldn't bring in ideas or do the bath bombs, you know. EO would stop making money, you know, and that money helps. So, you know, as you get older and, you know, like we went over the talents class, and if you have talents here that help us, but you start conforming to the world, I lost my thought. You know, the Most High is not going to be pleased. You're not going to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then you're going to, at the end of the day, you're going to lose your blessing to the Most High if you do conform. So the next one is, how do you stop from being deceived? Don't care what they do. What else? Have you guys been put in that situation where you did stop? Yep. What did you do?
I just didn't care.
You just didn't care?
I just realized everything they do is stupid.
It's stupid, right? Somebody else? Tiana or Naomi? How do you, Shwashna?
One of the ways for you guys to do it would be to know why you're doing why do I cover my head? Why do I wear dresses? How come I'm not wearing the pants that the girls are wearing? Why I'm not a metrosexual? You know, like those people that say that they're either boy or girl. The boys that wear makeup are metrosexual. Why is that wrong for you? And then if you think it's wrong, then that's how you don't.
Right, by knowing the truth,
Right.
knowing the truth of that.
By also understanding why you're doing it, because you can't just be like mom said, wear dresses and
Right.
you want to wear them. You gotta know why you're wearing a dress. It's kind of like with us too. We have to know why, otherwise we go on the world a lot more than you guys. You can be more convinced by them, by our coworkers. Everybody has coworkers that live crazy lives, and you're like, wow, that sounds cool. But we gotta know what we're doing.
Right. To know the truth of that aspect. Like, I wear this dress because of this, or I read the scriptures because it helps me, or right, what Shwashna said. So let's read Romans 12:2. I think I put it on your paper.
Yes.
So if someone different can read it, Naomi, you want to read it for us, nice and loud?
And be not conformed into this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Right, so we have to renew our minds and be transformed. You guys were born into this, so some things you were already just, your parents taught you to do. You didn't have to change, but there are some ways that you're going to have to transform, some of your bad habits, or, let not other things influence you, and let the scriptures, be at the forefront of your mind, reminding you not to conform. So, and what else do you think the Most High wants us to see? Any ideas?
His works.
What else does He want us to see from this world? Sorry. No? Brian?
It says it right here.
What is
It
it?
said, right here it says the world is enmity with God.
The scripture, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what He wants us to see is, He wants us to see that those people that out there that they think that they're free, that they think that they're getting to do what they want, they're just being controlled by Satan, So they're really not free. And the wickedness that they are doing, like I mentioned before, is just going to bring destruction to them. At the end of the day, when Christ comes back, they're not going to be found acceptable before Him, like in Romans said. So we want to be found acceptable. So read that scripture, someone, James 4:4. Who hasn't read? Read loud.
Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that friendship of the world is enmity with God. Whosoever therefore be a friend of the world is the enemy of God.
So let's look up that word enmity. Grab your phone. Okay, read it loud.
The state or feeling of being actively opposed or hostile of someone or something.
So that's how the world is to the Most High. Their ways are against. They're the complete opposite of the Most High's ways. So the Most High also wants us to see that, again, like I said, that glitz, that glam, it's only for that moment, for that second. They're going to perish. So I have some questions for you guys. Have you guys ever conformed and then regretted that you conformed?
Wait, what's conformed?
Where you read back, when you do what they do. Have you ever conformed to something that a friend proposed or something that you saw on TV? What did you do? Okay, so you cussed, so you conformed. How did you feel afterwards? Okay, anybody else? Has anybody else conformed? Did something that you weren't supposed to? Laura?
When I was younger, we used to like break into cars a lot. It wasn't my idea, but it was some friends' ideas, and then like that just became normal. I could conform to like breaking into cars, like several cars.
So you
every
became
time.
a thief?
Yeah.
Okay. Did anybody else conform?
When I was younger, a little younger than I was, the kids I grew up with, they're throwing rocks in houses.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was fun. We did that.
So you conformed to, what's the word?
Vandalism.
To vandalism.
And then I regretted it when they decided to throw me inside the house after they broke the window.
Anybody else? Well, I haven't heard from you much. Have you ever conformed? Did something that you weren't supposed to? At school? No?
That Fortnite.
Who hasn't said anything? Naomi? Shreya? Have you guys ever conformed?
It was in school, but I almost started yelling at this because you kept on Fortnite.
So you almost became disrespectful over Fortnite, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody else? Come on. You ever guys conformed? What did you do?
Things.
You said things that you weren't supposed to?
Yes.
So you conform, right? So we can easily be deceived and be tricked into conforming, right? So that's why we always have to keep our guard up and keep our minds in the scriptures and keep coming to class and keep listening to your parents, because their wisdom may not be fun sometimes, but it's important. It's important for your physical being and for your spiritual being. Okay? And what will you do with the truth? Like, knowing that that world out there is wicked. What will you do with that knowledge? Will you apply it? What will you do now? Anybody? Apply it, right? Anybody else? So apply it, right? That's the main thing, you know? Like, if you wouldn't keep putting your money in an investment that you know isn't going to work, right? So that's the same thing with the world. Don't put your stock in it. You know, don't conform, because you already know. You know, the scriptures tell you right there. I don't have to tell you. Your parents don't have to tell you. You can read it for yourself. Benaya?
I would like learn more and then spread it.
Right, so let's read the last scripture, 1 John 2 and 17.
I'll read it.
Okay, go ahead, Sharon.
And the world passeth away, and the lust therefore, but he that doeth the will of God abideth
Forever. So the world, again, like I mentioned, is going to pass away. Christ is going to come back. He's going to do away with this. So don't be fooled, don't be deceived, and don't easily conform to their ways. How about you turn the cards and be like, hey, conform to my ways. What you're doing is wicked. How about you teach them something, okay? Make them conform to you, to your ways, the ways of the Most High. Alright, so anybody want to say anything? Anybody have anything to say before we end class?
I just wanted, I remember whenever we were doing the secret sister exchange, and there was a young sister that came, and you guys were getting to know her and stuff like that. But, you know, after I talked to one of you guys, they were like, oh, your parents let you do that, or oh my gosh, it's really cool, why do you do that? You guys were so interested in how she was doing things because she came from the world, when it should have been the other way around. You guys could have been like, well, we do this, this is how we do our nails here, and why we wear these dresses and things like that. So I thought that, you know, it was a good point about like conformity when, like you said, you wanna be the light for the people of the world.
Right. That's a good point. And I think that's why I like to wear flashy dresses. So they can see that you can be pretty in a dress. You don't have to wear tight clothes or revealing clothes to be beautiful. Right, so make them conform. Peer pressure, good peer pressure, okay? All right, well, say shalom. We're going to eat cake.
Yay!
Cake?
Let them eat it.
Is it salty?